that bum in front of you. You see yourself doing right, and you do right. That Apollo won't know what hit him. You're gonna roll over him like a bulldozer.
Hey guys, what's up? Blaine Cooper with Third Watch. Good morning. So the White House continues to run damage control for the disastrous debate with Biden the other day. The White House press secretary is continuing to try to make excuses of a man who clearly shouldn't be running the country. Anyway, here's a clip.
The American people first, and delivering for them.
Can you also clarify Sungmin's question?
Sure.
I mean, how is it that the president was still tired 12 days after returning from Europe, had a cold, but then went to the Waffle House, and then the following day staged such a huge comeback that he gave those North Carolina remarks? Like, help us understand.
Have you had a cold before?
Of course I've had a
Okay,
cold before.
so you probably, well, come on, Jackie. Let's be very, let's be.
12 days.
First of all, I want to say we understand the concerns. We get it. The president did not have a great night, as you all know, and many of you reached out during the debate. The president had a cold.
I mean, honestly, it's coming from all sides at this point. The Democrats are trying to get Biden to step aside because clearly he's not in good health. And he remains defiant that he's going to win this thing. Even Obama at this point is trying to get him to step aside. And it's not just Democrats. This is the kind of general feeling for everybody in America at this point. I mean, you'd be an idiot or disingenuous to think that this man should be running the country at this point. Anyway, I got an interesting article I want to share with you on this. It says, and this goes without saying, it says nearly 3/4 of Americans say Biden shouldn't run, doesn't have the cognitive health to serve as president, post-debate poll. Just 18% of voters said Biden's debate performance inspired confidence. I don't know how 18% of people could actually believe that this president had any confidence to run this damn country. Anyway, it goes on to say that a new poll conducted after the first presidential debate found that nearly 3/4 of Americans say President Joe Biden shouldn't be running in the 2024 election and doesn't have the cognitive health to serve in the White House. This was according to a CBS News /YouGov poll of 1,130 registered voters conducted between June 28th, 29th of 2024. Thursday's presidential debate had damaging results for President Biden. And it goes without saying, of course it did. Like I said, you'd have to be an idiot or disingenuous to not see that this is a real problem. A guy who's in charge of the nuclear football and literally has 7 minutes to try to make a decision on how he's going to defend this country in the event of an attack or a nuclear attack. Anyway, you get the point. And it just gets worse and worse with this stuff. I mean, it goes on. Here's another article. It says, leaked Democratic internal polling suggests Biden is headed for his greatest humiliation yet. And I mean, of course, I mean, how does this guy think he's going to win this at this point? This is blatant and utter disregard for the country at this point. Sometimes you got to swallow your pride and just step down. 40% of former Biden voters want him to drop out. Swing voters want him out by a 2-to-1 margin. In an electoral college showdown, Biden is poised to eat dust. I mean, at this point, Trump's going to win in a landslide. It says the news site Puck published a leaked memo Tuesday from Open Labs, a leftist research outfit that does polling for various Democratic groups, revealing that President Joe Biden's debate performance last week may have been the final nail in his political coffin. Anyway, I'm going to put links to all this in the description. Now, these are coming out of the Blaze Media, but I'm sure you can Google and find this elsewhere. Anyway, as the debacle at the White House gets worse, I really can't even dignify this with the response, but I'm going to try. This is fucking scary. Biden increasingly relying on Hunter for advice post-debate, baffling White House staff. Why in the hell? And what in the hell is happening? Hunter Biden? What's his advice? Here, Dad, smoke some crack before the debate. Sniff some cocaine up your nose, give you a little push to take on the Trumpster. Anyway, so the report goes on to say President Joe Biden is hunkering down and consulting with the people he trusts the most, his family, that includes convicted felon and son Hunter Biden, much to the bewilderment of White House staff. This is scary when you got a man who has no idea where he's at, and now he's going to a crackhead for advice, who should be in a prison cell. Really, they both should be. This is just getting ridiculous and getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, talk about political fallout. You might as well just go ahead and light the country on fire at this point. I'll put the links in the description if you guys want to come and read this yourself. In other news, which this is good news, and I'll give you my take on this because I see this as both a good and a bad thing. Trump immunity case explained. So as you know, the ruling came out with the Supreme Court that Trump has broad immunity as president. And so it says yesterday in a landmark decision, the Supreme Court determined in a 6-3 ruling that former presidents have broad immunity from prosecution for actions related to the core powers of their office. It says this will send Trump's case back to the lower courts where it will be determined whether or not his January 6 actions were official or unofficial. Anyway, so this could be both a good and a bad thing. I think it's good in the sense that it protects Trump. I think it's bad in a sense that it protects Biden as well. And here's my take on it. If a president has to fulfill certain duties in the White House, say he's got a drone strike, a psychopath in the Middle East, or whatever, you get the point, and is hindered because he's scared or worried about prosecution or political backlash as presidents get out of office, then it makes the president powerless to fulfill his duties and defend the country. But in hindsight, this also can set up for what we didn't want in this country, a king who can pretty much do whatever he wants and nobody can tell him otherwise. Now, I think it's good in the sense that it protects the executive branch, the president, but I think it's bad in the sense that it also could lead to bad things. For example, when we had Nixon wiretapping the DNC. And on that note, when the Democrats were wiretapping and what they did to Trump, how come they're not sitting in a prison cell for that? But that's okay, right? Dubious double standard as the Democrats or extreme left continue to do in this country. So anyway, I think it's great because we had a big event happen January 6th, which was a guided tour. To say that it was anything otherwise is to be ignorant or disingenuous. And I'll have words with anybody. And if you got a problem with that, we can debate that any day of the week. Kiss my butt. That's how we America. If you don't like it, get out. Especially with all the new footage that has been released. This was not a riot. This was a guided tour. The riots happened when you had Democrats and others going out and burning cities to the ground, but that's okay. That was peaceful protesting. Anyway, moving on. What do we do at this point? I mean, we have a difficult decision to make in this country. A lot of people don't like Trump. I happen to like him. I'm voting for him, and so is everybody in my family. Now, it doesn't matter who we put in there at this point. This country has been ripped to pieces for the last 100 years, and no one person is going to fix it. There's a lot of things that Trump did that I didn't agree with, but overall, I think he's great for the economy. I think he's great for the safety and protection of this nation. And there's some things he's not so great for. We can go back and forth on that all day, but clearly the person that's in there now, this is a disaster waiting to happen. With everything going on in Ukraine, the Middle East, Russia, this is a boiling pot ready to explode. Anyway, in the spirit of July 4th, celebrating our independence from the dictatorship of Britain and the monarchy that was trying to be enforced in this country, what freedom are we really celebrating? We've lost so much freedom in this country. I mean, look at the Constitution just at face value. You have the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law that prohibits free speech. The Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's been obliterated. We might as well just take the Constitution and light it on fire at this point. There are so many laws that have destroyed the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. I mean, pretty all of it. It's basically a worthless document in the courtroom. I've been there. We tried to bring up the Constitution in a federal court case and were silenced, shut up, or told that we'd be held in contempt, whatever. It does not exist. Their version of the Constitution is case law, and I disagree with that. And I want to do more shows on this because at the core value, we got a lot of things. I mean, if we're really going to fix this country, why aren't we doing things like ending the Federal Reserve, ending the Alphabet Agency, the FBI, the CIA? We have corruption and spiritual wickedness at the top of the food chain, and nothing's being done about it. I mean, I'm going to leave you with this. This is usdebtclock.org. This is how far in the hole we really are. It's unsustainable. There's no way to fix it unless you make drastic, serious changes that aren't going to be easy for people to accept. But there is things we can do that'll work, and we could try to reset this nation. But what are we willing to do to make it happen? What will the Trump presidency bring us this time? Let's hope for the sake of America we can stop the insanity and make America great again the way it should have been. This is Blaine Cooper with Third Watch. Again, like and subscribe. Please join me here on my weekly podcast. And also, if you need tree removal and you're in the Illinois area, contact me and we'll get that tree out of there for you. It's the Peoria, Illinois, and surrounding areas. I go out in all directions for about 50 miles. So if you got a tree or tree work that needs done, give me a call. We'll get that tree out of there for you. God bless America and stay strong out there. Let's continue the good fight. This is Blaine Cooper with Third Watch. I'm out.